This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Oakland Raiders. For a little football, so we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Oakland Raiders. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. And a glance at the tall signal caller, standing 6'6".
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside of the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I think the Raiders are going to be able to hold on to it, yes.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Burns. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Commanding the offense will be Lamar Jackson, the electric quarterback out of the University of Louisville.
He threw for nearly 350 yards. His team won. And one word just kept coming to mind as I watched him during the game. Surgical. Absolutely surgical. That's why he won NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, very precise. The throws maybe as accurate as he's been in some time.
Yeah, I think he feels pretty locked in here. And I think he feels like he can get it done again in this one, too.
First and 10, it's Jackson. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10.
Detroit! Now let's go! Green 39! Green 39! Gone!
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
They go play action here on first down. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that.
Like that?
Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. He'll get it to the 40. Sweet little move in there, but couldn't get much yardage out of it. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd down, here's Jackson. Flushed out, and a big loss here as he's taken down.
But no takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. They go play action with Jackson. And he's going to go down again.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. And before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the first quarter. 0-0 our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football.
Now let's go. Green 39.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. So after a scoreless first quarter, we at least finally get some points on the board.
But it can't be what either of us expected, can it?
No, the safety's not what you expect for the first points of the game, but one of the goose eggs is gone. So a free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. And now out comes Minnesota. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Jackson. Wide open receiver complete. A big play there for Minnesota. And even 40 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Rolling to his left. Throw taken in by Taylor, left side. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Watch it now, Barney.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Saquon Barkley, his second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Carlson now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now here come the Raiders. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead.
There he goes, Amari Cooper. 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Amari Cooper, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
And he went all the way into the end zone. Extra point forthcoming. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is down to 2. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. Dances by him. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. And he spins past him and into space. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A tremendous play there from Saquon Barkley. Give him 53 yards on the ground. So down inside the 5-yard line, I have to say, really just a poor job defensively there.
You're exactly right. As a former defensive back, that was not played well at all. But give credit to the offense and give credit to the guy running the football. He gets it down all the way inside the 5.
He's going to get it running right. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. From back at the 4, here's second and goal. They get it to him running left. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments. Let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking. Beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Carlson now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Two minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. He'll drop to throw. A dump off from Mason. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. To the right side here, complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 12 more yards there and another first down. They'll look to throw now on first down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here slow to get up. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw here. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. And he's taken down inside the 30. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They're going to look to throw. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. A lot of attention paid this week in practice to red zone offense. The coach was optimistic about how it went. We'll see. They'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Back to throw. This pass caught at the 4. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Raiders have cut it back to within a score.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Green
Play
39.
action. Now Jackson rolling to his right. On the crossing route, complete. That's Hill. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Play action. It's Jackson. He'll buy some time right toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. From the red zone now, here's Jackson on 1st down. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. He was looking for Tyreek Hill that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw again. Jackson. And he's got it. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. The field goal unit on the sideline. They're going to go with 1 second left. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson, and he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. They go play action now. Jackson. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, a 22.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver.
And the Raiders have got him.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Off play action. Jackson. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Carl Joseph, and his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches. Here's Sam Martin now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is making sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
Oh, it really has, especially as of late. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I know you don't get anything extra for degree of difficulty, but maybe you should. He's done absolutely everything in this game today, including laying out for that one.
This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Jackson now. Off play action. They'll roll him out right. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. To throw is Jackson. Off the play fake. Sliding out of the pocket. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
Off the play fake. Jackson. Got a man. It's Ross. Complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one goes for 24 yards.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right? Yeah. Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Off play action. Jackson, flush to his right. Oh, he just needed to throw it away, but instead, out of bounds he goes, and that's a sack. He lost 9 there. That's really going to set him back for 2nd down. Here's Jackson. Off play action. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Here's a give to Barkley. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Jackson. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 14. Now Jackson off the play fake. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only 1 score down.
Yeah, true. I mean, we could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of running.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the offense will cover this one up, but they'll be pushed back inside their own 10. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get.
And can you believe it? It's a 2nd safety in this ball game. Now, the 2 points, that's not totally critical at this point. Still a 1-score game, but they do have to give away the football with no guarantees they're going to get it back.
Yeah, or at least if they get it back, will they have any time to do anything with it? So they've got to send their defense out there and say, guys, we got to have it right now. Save some time for us.
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete. He was looking for John Ross that time. And that'll bring up second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson. Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Detroit! Gone!
Jackson to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get. And it's just so strange to see that go up on the board. And then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
Back to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. He's back to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Burns. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Point after, right down the middle. So it's now a 3-point game here in the closing stages, as a field goal now can only tie it. Fielded about a yard deep. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know
through an opening, and there he goes. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. the spin.
Balance.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That good for 19 and a first down. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. In for the score. And the Vikings have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter.
How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
Carlson on for the PAT. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Carlson now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll start things out at the 25. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. One possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring, and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out.
Hurry up, here we go.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Minnesota, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll return home next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for Oakland, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos. That'll do it.